I am so tickled to report that it has just changed everything for me in helping me get past anxiety, helping me to sleep better at night, not because my circumstances changed, but because that fight or flight that I lived in and didn't realize is now gone.
Absolutely. I can understand. There's a lot of stress related to taking care of the family. One of the major things that I talk about in BCP is the number of side benefits. For instance, sleep and mood change and skin changes as well.
71 years old, peaches and cream.
Welcome to Season 6 of the Cannabis Truth Podcast, where we speak the language of cannabis freely and uncensored while educating our audience on safe use of this live plant therapy. You should know what's in your cannabis, what's good and what's not, because cannabis does not come with an FDA stamp of approval, yet. The information you will find here comes straight from scientists and clinicians doing the work and reporting their findings in reputable outlets. Hopefully, we can inspire you to research the facts as we know them today. Cannabis is an amazing alternative in health remedies, with the potential to alleviate typical disease problems and troubling side effects, even those caused by synthetic prescriptions. Here now is the host of the Cannabis Truth Podcast. She is a 21st century cannabis shaman, not a doctor, not a scientist. Raised by nuns and wolves in the verdant cattle pastures of the Oklahoma oil fields, here to amplify the truth of this great big story of cannabis in historical, political, scientific, and spiritual terms, so you can make educated decisions about the medicine you choose to ingest. Please welcome Honey Smith Walls.
Dear audience, I am so tickled to present this little series for you to understand something that has made a huge change in my life, and I hope it will yours as well. It is my great pleasure to introduce a man whose work is transforming how we think about health and healing and the human body. Dr. Philip Blair is a board-certified physician, a graduate of West Point and the University of Miami School of Medicine, as well as a retired U.S. Army colonel with over 30 years of medical service. And after decades of caring for soldiers and families around the world, Dr. Blair turned his focus to something extraordinary, and it's new science. The body's endocannabinoid system. You've heard me talk about it a lot. And how it helps find balance, relief, and resilience. Exactly. He found Blair Medical Group and BC Plus. I'm always talking about it. And he did it to bring evidence-based physician-guided support to people seeking natural solutions for pain and anxiety and chronic illness. Don't forget inflammation. Dr. Blair has helped thousands of patients understand that the body truly can heal itself when given the right support. So here with us to explain this brand new science, I'm so excited about it, of an ancient compound that we've been ingesting all our lives. It's true, in minute quantities. Dr. Blair will lead us through this series of questions to help us see the benefit of using β-Caryophyllene. It's a big, long, syllable word. I love it. β-Caryophyllene. Please join me in warmly welcoming a compassionate pioneer and thought leader in endocannabinoid health, Dr. Philip Blair. Dr. Blair, it is so nice to have you back on the Cannabis Truth Podcast to talk about BC Plus.
You know, honey, it's a real pleasure to be with you, and certainly with an advocate of yourself and the amazing thing that it's done for you. I really appreciate this opportunity to tell the story about BC Plus.
Could you start at the beginning for us and tell us just a little bit about how you became interested in this compound? And, you know, feel free to tell our audience the name of the compound anytime.
Well, I started working with a cannabidiol company in 2014, and I learned a great deal about the endocannabinoid system. In fact, that was my first introduction. But over the next 6 years, I became enchanted with the endocannabinoid system, became a semi-expert in the field. But I discovered that there were many other compounds, entourage substances, that could be of extremely great value, including beta-Caryophyllene. And beta-Caryophyllene is a unique compound that comes from terpenes. It's a terpenoid that's found in hemp, but it's also found in innumerable other plants like cloves, black pepper, cinnamon, and many other substances.
All of which we've already been eating all our lives.
Exactly. Especially if you're on a Mediterranean diet and you're spicing your food, you're using huge amounts of these substances. Now, you're not getting them in the delivery pattern and the dosing that you really need to have a benefit, but you are getting them in some manner. And those studies on the Mediterranean diet that are replete with beta-Caryophyllene show considerable benefits for health. And we know that now.
Dr. Blair, what exactly is BC Plus then?
Well, BC Plus
also from traditional CBD that you talked about, cannabidiol.
Well, BC Plus is a terpene, and it's found in hemp and it's found in other plants, but it's found in very small amounts in these other plants and in hemp. And so what we've done and what I've done is extract the beta-Caryophyllene in black pepper and cloves and put it into a concentrated fashion and then mixed it in a bubble-like arrangement for higher bioavailability so that it is absorbed almost instantly through your mucous membranes.
That's what that liposomal form means.
That's right.
That's what's containing the compound.
Yeah, the liposome is like a bubble, a bioavailable bubble that has a membrane-like consistency that allows it to be ingested by the cellular structures very, very quickly, get transferred to the bloodstream and to the brain within a matter of minutes.
Well, that's in pretty simple terms of how it gets inside of us and works. And so I get that. But a lot of women are really skeptical and anxious about trying new products or new science and, don't want to be a guinea pig and that sort of thing. How is this different?
Well, first of all, you're taking it in all the time if you're taking in these spices. And you may not be aware of it, and you've accommodated yourself to it. Even people who are severely allergic to different substances tolerate this wonderfully. I have never seen an allergic reaction. In fact, beta-Caryophyllene has been effective at blocking anaphylactic reactions I've seen.
Wow. That is really startling that you've never seen an allergic reaction to this. It's just amazing. How long does it usually take for people to start feeling the effects of beta-Caryophyllene when they begin using it?
Well, the immediate effects occur within 10 minutes, and you will feel magnificent within 10 minutes. It will relieve pain, relieve anxiety, relieve depression. In just a few minutes, there'll be feelings of well-being that will come over you. And this is in most people, but it doesn't happen in everybody. Then it kicks in the anti-inflammatory effects, and that may take a couple days, but it's going to calm down any joint pain or any inflammation that's going on, and it will control allergies as well. And so you can get a lot of different benefits over time with the product. But the initial dosage is really surprising in terms of the improvement in your mood, in your pain levels, and in your vision. There's a dramatic improvement in your vision with it as well.
Isn't that amazing to hear? I don't know of any other, I'm just, ignorant of all of the plant world out there anyway, because of my own conditioning, brought up to let the doctor tell me what's all of that stuff and didn't learn about plants. But knowing that this is already been in my diet all my life is such a relief to hear. It's good to know that this product, I've been consuming this product all my life anyway.
That's right. You're taking it in. You're taking it in, obviously, in time, and you're not aware of it, but that's giving you major benefits with it. Now, if you compare that to cannabis, beta-caryophyllene offers all the same benefits of cannabis, but without the psychoactive portion. So you can parallel it with CBD and THC, but you're not getting any of the adverse effects from those chemicals, and you cannot test positive for THC by taking beta-caryophyllene.
Oh, well, isn't that good news for travelers?
Well, for travelers and military personnel and police and airlines personnel, all these people, they cannot use cannabis or cannabinoids or CBD. Now, there's a big argument to say whether you can use pure CBD in these instances, but pure CBD has been known to flip over some people's urine testing. So I wouldn't want to take that risk, and I don't think they're going to take that risk. Yet beta-caryophyllene from cloves doesn't have any of these sourcing materials. It doesn't have any THC, and it's not going to turn any test positive. But it offers many of the same benefits of CBD and THC.
And it works in the same receptor system that those compounds love as well.
Yeah. You know, it works on the endocannabinoid system in a beautiful way. It supports the entire endocannabinoid system. You know, the endocannabinoid system is made up of agonists and receptors, as well as enzymes that proliferate and produce the endocannabinoids, as well as enzymes that break these things down. And plus, there are transport molecules along the way. Beta-caryophyllene modifies all of these substances. It modifies the enzymes that break down the endocannabinoids. So by blocking that breakdown, then it's going to elevate to normal levels if you have a deficiency. And plus, it's going to actually facilitate the movement of these endocannabinoid substances, as well as many other receptor systems that are connected with the endocannabinoid system.
This is going to click with so many people who hear it.
Yeah, honey, no.
This is a shout out to all my entrepreneurial sisters. I'm wondering, are you feeling stuck like I did when I first started my business? I hadn't been through business college, and there were so many things I didn't know and understand, especially about marketing, especially about the back-end bone structure of your business, and all the little things that you could do to help yourselves in the way of tools. So looking forward, if you need help in getting those little projects done, but you've been stumped because you just couldn't figure out one piece of that app or the next step or the next darn, and you just wanted somebody to just show me how. I'm your girl. That's why I created honeyshelp.com. Now you can get a la carte help for those little projects that have just been nagging you. I can help you with a lot of that stuff that builds the backbones of your business. And we can do it together, stress-free, where you will enjoy learning how to structure the backbones of your business. I hope that you will go visit honeyshelp.com for more information about what we could do together to get you past those hurdles that have just been stumping you for so long, when all it would take is just a few minutes of somebody showing you how. I'm your girl. This is Honey Smith Walls, and I hope that you will too. Go visit honeyshelp.com today. Hi, Honey Smith Walls here. I'm host of the Cannabis Truth Podcast, weekly for the past 6 years. But today I'm inviting you to a Facebook group called the Holistic Relief Summit, in hopes that you too will come for the peace and stay for the epiphanies. It's a beautiful space for women to find all kinds of relief from all kinds of suffering. Come join us for free. If you're not able to use cannabis, you could use a terpene. this one in particular, that will help you with inflammation and pain, acute pain, and like nausea and anxiety. It is an amazing product I don't want to be without, because it made me realize what an anxious woman I was when I wasn't using it. I mean, I started using this for the pain in my hands, and yeah, it helps a ton, but when I realized that it absolutely got rid of the anxiety I was feeling, I don't ever want to be without it. Turns out, after all the work I've been doing over the past couple of years for, my inner child and fixing all of that, I was such an anxious woman, I had no idea. But when I use this, that's all gone. It's just gone. I hope you too go look up Dr. Blair's. It's called Able Docs Apothecary is the name of his company. You can find him at blairmedicalgroup.la as well. And the name of the product is BC Plus. It's a reference to β-Caryophyllene. The terpene, β-Caryophyllene, BC Plus. It's so cool. This is going to click with so many people who hear it.
One of the major targets of BCP is on the CB2 receptors. We're always hearing about the CB1 receptor, which can have some derogatory effects. That's where we get high for if you take a lot of THC, whereas low doses will cause an anti-inflammatory reaction and a neurogenesis and a cognitive benefit from people, and it'll prevent a number of inflammatory conditions. But for the most part, you got CB1 receptors that are always talked about, and we're competing with different high levels of THC in order to affect those receptors. But THC also acts on the CB2 receptor. And that's exclusively where the beta-Caryophyllene works on the endocannabinoid system receptors on the CB2, which is anti-inflammatory. It's on every one of our immune cells, and it controls inflammation. It blocks inflammation, and it promotes anti-inflammation by the cytokines released in that way.
I wish we would spend more time teaching this stuff to our children in grade school so that we could understand it, by the time we're adults and making decisions for ourselves. One
of the problems is that a lot of in the past literature, the old literature back in the 1990s and the early 2000s is they didn't identify the CB2 receptor in the brain. And now we know that it proliferates in the brain. It's in every one of our neurons. It's in every one of our glial cells. It's in our vascular cells, but they're at low levels of concentration unless the brain gets inflamed. And when it gets inflamed, then these receptors become prolific, and they are begging for an agonist. And that's where beta-Caryophyllene can come in, and the endocannabinoids.
Wow. That was a real visual for me. I'm still playing with that whole scenario. I would love to go ahead and discuss some of the mysteries of women and hormones and anxiety. Shall we do that now or save it for next time?
I think we ought to save it for next time. This is a great introduction, and I've gotten out all of my major points, and it gives you a chance to digest some of these things, and it could be shocking to some individuals to know that there is a cannabinoid-like product that is a natural substance that can be easily obtained and marketed and produce these magnificent benefits within minutes of use.
I happen to have some of my own that I use on a daily basis. I bet you all can hear my puppies barking. The kids are home. The grandkids have come home. But I am so tickled to report that it has just changed everything for me in helping me get past anxiety and helping to subdue the neuropathy in my fingers, helping me to sleep better at night without a spasmy bladder or anything like that, to have to get up so many times. I have discovered peace in my heart because of this, not because my circumstances changed, but because that fight or flight that I lived in and didn't realize is now gone. So that's really a special blessing for me as an older woman, to be able to have good sleep, to be able not to worry about my life and what all is going on and taking care of the grandkids.
Absolutely. I can understand. There's a lot of stress related to taking care of the family, and the stresses of normal life. And when you're in menopause, then you're under additional stresses from the lack of hormones that are going on if you're not taking additional estrogen. So I understand that completely. And one of the major things that I talk about in BCP is the number of side benefits that come with it. We talk about pain, we talk about anxiety, we talk about depression, but there's so many side benefits. For instance, sleep, and mood change and skin changes as well.
71 years old, peaches and cream. And it's because I'm getting enough sleep, and now I have the energy to really consider taking care of myself. Oh, have I had a drink recently? When all you think about is pain, it's not easy to take care of yourself. Or when you live in constant high anxiety, it's just not easy to think yourself worthy of that kind of deeply personal attention.
That's very insightful. I appreciate that.
It's hard. It's hard for women, especially older women who are alone, because the fear just overwhelms us. And trying to learn new technology for ourselves in this day and age. I help women with computering, if you will, women my own age who just never went to school for it and are afraid. And that fear, that's where I start talking to them about a little bit of this, because that fear was programmed into them. And until they can get that fear and anxiety out of in front of every thought that they have, they've got no room to explore. They've got no room for joy or thinking of what's ahead of them in joy. They're just too afraid. This has kept me from fear so many times. I just don't want to live without it. And I'm so grateful that you're here to help me explain to our audience how vital it can be and what a life changer it can be for everybody.
Honey, I've known you for the last year and perhaps even longer.
Yeah.
And I've seen an amazing transformation in the last year for you. And I've been marveling at those changes and those healthy benefits and the joy and the gratitude that you're feeling and that you express so often. So it's very heartwarming to hear these things from you. Exactly.
Well, thank you so much for being here. And let's save women and hormones and anxiety for next time so that you can really get into the nitty-gritty for our audience about that. It's such a mystery, and we would love to have your help with it.
I greatly appreciate that, and I appreciate the opportunity to talk about this, my favorite subject, as a matter of fact.
Mine too. All right. Thank you. We'll see you in the next episode. Follow us next time, friends.
You've been listening to another Cannabis Truth Podcast with 21st century cannabis shaman Honey Smith Walls. Using cannabis mindfully as medication is a different concept in Western healthcare philosophy, specifically over the past century. There's a lot to learn and reconsider. The scientific truth of cannabis is finally getting out and is wide open for all to see at respected medical sites like the National Library of Medicine at pubmed.gov and the Journal of American Medical Association at JAMAnetwork.com. We here at the Cannabis Truth Podcast are right there in the thick of it, alongside the titans of medicine, as a fly on the wall. We are not doctors, nor did we go to medical school, but we have taken dozens of private cannabis courses and still engage in continuing education offered by expert cannabis scientists. Over the past few years, we slowly began to see and understand the bigger picture. Now we hear from people all day long about cannabis. It is so important to use verifiably safe products. The process of getting a diagnosis from your family doctor and taking your records to a cannabis specialist can lead you to the correct cannabinoid therapy for your specific issues. Otherwise, you're simply your own guinea pig looking for answers without the foundational knowledge or ability to determine your best strategy. To find a qualified cannabis expert in your area, visit cannabisclinicians.org. This is a national society of cannabis experts. Look for the link in the show notes. Unless otherwise proven by a reputable third-party lab test, please regard all street weed as contaminated. It may do grave harm to a patient with a delicate immune system who already has inflammatory issues like arthritis, IBS, fibromyalgia, or worse. Thank you so much for your time today. I hope you find value and understanding through the conversations you've heard on this podcast.
A quick shout out to Nathan Pierce and Daniel Rome of the 406 Budcast and their brilliant tech goddesses who created what you're about to hear next.
She walked in with wisdom and a fire in her eyes, talking plant truth where the silence lies. From the roots to the bloom, she saw the light. Now she's teaching folks how to heal it right. Not afraid to challenge the tale of lazy myths and a system that failed. She's got science in one hand, stories in the other. Lifts up the voices they tried to smother. Honey knows, honey grows. Truth in the soil and love in the smoke. Speaking for the elders and the ones left behind. She's the shaman of the leaf with a warrior's mind. Yeah, honey knows how the healing flows. From Florida sun to digital waves, she's breaking down fear with every word she says. Cannabis truth, that's her battle cry. For the mamas and papas still scared to try. She ain't selling hype, she's serving facts. Taking big pharma to school with class. With a mic and a mission, she lights the way for the lost and the curious every day. Honey knows, honey grows. Truth in the bud and peace in the dose. Teaching the plant like a sacred art. From the ECS to the beating heart. Yeah, honey knows. How the healing flows. She's been burned by the system, lifted by the plant, giving voice to the ones who thought they can. A sister, a